Hello friends, how you doing? It's Alina, and in this video we will be diving into the 5 things you need to know all about the September 2021 full moon and harvest moon in Pisces. So if that's something that interests you, then let's get started. What is up, y'all? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be diving into all things the September harvest moon happening on the 20th or 21st, depending on your time zone. We're going to be talking about the energy surrounding it, how this water sign of Pisces, this sign of empathy, romance, intuition, will be impacting us. We'll talk about how to harness this energy, the transits surrounding it, and as always at the end, I will offer some custom full moon writing prompts so we can better align with this energy and journal together. And a quick announcement before we dive in, I have the 2022 Auralign Astrology Planner right here. In order to make sure that this launch of the 2022 line and everything else that I've talked about in previous videos goes efficiently and smoothly for y'all, we're actually going to be pushing back the launch date, the pre-order opening date. So if you're interested in learning more about the Auralign Astrology Planner, which is my creation, how you can pre-order it, all of the things, I invite you to sign up for my email list, which is linked down below in the description and on the website here. I don't spam y'all, or just keep watching the videos because y'all will be the first to know as soon as pre-orders open. And with all of that said, let's dive in. First things first, what is a harvest moon? This year, the harvest moon will appear in the evening on Monday, September 20th, here in the States or in Canada at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 4:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for any of y'all wondering when a great time to see it is or to do a full moon ritual, its peak light will be from Sunday evening to Tuesday evening. Unlike many other special moons like the pink moon, strawberry moon, wolf moon, and such, the harvest moon is set apart from the rest because it is named after the closest full moon to the autumnal equinox. This year, our autumnal equinox will be on September 22nd. Thus, this full moon on Monday will be the harvest full moon. Here in the Western Hemisphere, just as we see with farmers, this time marks the last harvest of the summer season before we see the colder weather come in. This is a time of reaping what we have sown. And as y'all know, I love talking about how our lives can mirror the rhythms of nature. We're not necessarily supposed to be on all the time. Just like we see Mother Earth, we have our ebbs and flows, our falls, our winters, our summers and springs. And now, more than any other full moon, is an optimal time for reflecting on what has and hasn't been working for us, specifically as we reflect on the past summer season. This is seen as a very optimal time for doing things like full moon rituals. I'll link my video explaining how I do mine on the screen and in the video description. And this is another reason why I add in all of the Auralign planners dedicated full and new moon ritual pages for the entire year. And this very auspicious time of the harvest full moon is recognized all over the world and in many communities, including in China where they host their annual moon festival. Next, why is this full moon so important? This full moon occurs when the sun in Virgo forms an opposition with the moon in Pisces. As many of y'all already know, all full moons occur when there is an opposition between the sun and moon, forming an energetic tension between these two dichotomies. This is one of the many reasons why the full moon is seen as a time of higher emotions and tension, as the full moon is seen as a culmination point midway through the lunar cycle. Just as we see the light building from the new moon at the start of the lunar cycle all the way to its peak in light at the full moon, so too can our energy and momentum around any projects that we might have started build. This is one of the reasons why the full moon is also referred to as a cosmic spotlight, illuminating what has and hasn't been working for us halfway through this lunar journey. And just as we see in nature with the leaves beginning to fall at the start of the autumn season, as well as the moon, as the light begins to wane following its peak full moon period. Now can be an optimal time for us to reflect on and set intentions with what we would like to let go of and release. This can be done through full moon rituals, and it can include things like people, places, energy, habits, ideologies, mindsets, anything that might be holding us back from our highest intentions. And with this full moon being in the water sign of Pisces, a sign of empathy, imagination, intuition, romance, now can be an optimal time for setting our intentions within those areas and paying more attention to how our emotions and intuition shows up during this time. And with the moon opposing the sun in Virgo, we are presented with interesting lessons around how we can balance the Virgo energy of keeping order, routine, health, fitness, as well as the Pisces energy of holding space for our spiritual health, our intuition, emotions, and imagination. Next, what transits impact this full moon? First, we'll be having Mercury trine Jupiter, which will be playing a major role during this time. As some of you might know, a trine aspect indicates energetic support between astral bodies. And with Mercury being the planet of communication, travel, information exchange, trining with Jupiter, the planet of broader purpose, reach, and good luck, now will be a very potent time for socializing, doing research, and making plans for the future. This type of transit is seen as a very optimistic one that offers expansion moving into the future and good fortune. So staying open-minded, optimistic, and progressive when it comes to new ideas that might present themselves, or socializing and exchanging information will definitely be very helpful during this time and could lend a hand to potential broadening of horizons. Next, we have Mercury squaring off with Pluto. Now, while square aspects in astrology can offer more energetic challenges between those astral bodies, this aspect won't be as impactful as Mercury trining Jupiter. This type of transit can often bring deeper thinking and intense interactions into play, and with it being a full moon where we always see higher emotions, higher tension. On one hand, this can be a great time for doing deep research, information exchange. On the other hand, this can also bring about more arguments and tension in negative ways. So definitely listen to your intuition when it comes to who you're having conversations with, and really lean into the good ones. Lean into the conversations with thought-provoking people, with conversations that really get you excited. Next, what should we expect to feel? Emotions are already known to be very high during full moons, and with this full moon being in the water sign of Pisces, it will definitely be even higher. As many of y'all know, water signs are known to have very big impacts in our emotional lives. But these higher emotions don't necessarily mean that they are negative. Pisces moons actually tend to be a time of higher compassion. And when the powerful empathetic energies of Pisces come together in opposition with the skills and focus of Virgo, that being the Virgo sun that we have, now can be a very potent time for doing acts of service. This can look like holding space for friends, loved ones, doing favors for those close to us or in our community. But this full moon can be a powerful time for creating deep connections. Pisces full moons can also tend to turn simple thoughts into vivid fantasies and ideas, as well as cause an uptick in lucid and vivid dreaming. Lean into your wild ideas. Hold space for the idea that anything that you have in your mind could come to fruition. Maybe nothing would get in your way. What would happen? I personally don't have a dream journal, but I do keep a general journal by my bed. And one powerful way to train your brain to better remember your dreams is to write them out. As soon as you wake up, if you have someone there to explain it to, that can also help. But writing it out, even if it's simple and short, can really help to inform your brain, hey, I actually want you to keep this information rather than dumping it. And over the months and years, it's been pretty fascinating to look back at some of my dreams and see what was premonition, what was my brain just trying to process past experiences, and what does that mean for me now? Comment down below if you have a dream journal or if you've ever had fascinating or auspicious dreams. I've had dreams after loved ones have passed where it felt like they were visiting me, kind of in another realm. I've had dreams where it was almost like premonition, where I dreamt of something kind of abstract, but then I saw pieces of that abstract dream in the next day. It's really weird and very fascinating. I actually have a few videos talking about how to lucid dream, but anyway, comment down below if any of that relates to you. Next, how do we harness this energy? While Virgo tends to rule over our set of tools and techniques on how we deal with our day-to-day lives and the efficiency around that, Pisces tends to rule over our tools and techniques around our intuitive and emotional lives. The main key to balancing these two opposing energies will be to hold space for any spiritual needs or inklings that you have during this time. Oftentimes we can work with the schedules that just unfold and that work most efficiently as we're in a rush, and not really stop to reflect on how our schedule can be most beneficial for not only our work life, but our spiritual lives as well. In my previous new moon video, we briefly talked about how not everyone thrives off of a very strict structured schedule or the 5 a.m. archetype. Whether or not that is you, prioritizing moments in our lives where we can really water the flower that is our spirit, or even reserve time to just ponder and be in the moment, can be deeply fruitful during this time. And finally, let's get into these full moon journal prompts. If you have your Auralign planner, I invite you to go to the full moon release page where it's like a dedicated section for this. But if you don't have it, you don't need it. All you'll need will be a pen and paper. What I'll do is put the journal prompts up on the screen. When you see them, I invite you to pause the video, write them out, and when you're done, we'll come back. What does work-life balance currently look like for you? What are the pros and cons of it? Describe your current or ideal spiritual practice. How does this serve you? What does the phrase, protecting my peace, look like for you in close relationships? Is there anything you're ready to release or let go of during this full moon? All right, y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, I invite you to comment 3 wave emojis, because Pisces is a water sign and the ocean comes to mind. And don't forget, if you're interested in keeping tabs on when pre-orders will release, when the 2022 Auralign Astrology Planner launches, be sure to sign up for the email list in the description box below, or go to the website on the screen now. And with all of that said, I'll leave you with my favorite quote, and that is, be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey, not the destination. Okay? Bye, friends.